Then we have also joining me here. Well, he's not expecting this, but I'm bringing him up. Dr. Nasidi Issa. Where are you? Where's Dr. Nasidi? Is he around? Is he coming? Oh, please keep putting your hands together for him as he's coming. He spoke with me yesterday. He's leading a community project that is massive. We need to learn from them. We need to learn from them. We need to learn from them. Thank you so much. We have here the personal assistant to Senator Shehu Sani, who is a forerunner to the senator who is on his way. I want him to join us here as well. Malam Suleiman Ahmed, please put your hands together for him as he comes up. Thank you, thank you. All right, so now let me say that I am not supposed to be sitting here. I am standing in for Sophie, who had an emergency and is unavoidably absent. She's also on her way. Hopefully she joins us before we are through in the course of this interaction. So thank you so much. The context of our conversation this morning is this. We have a trend in our society now, and the trend is very simple. We have young people who are now more interested in crime than in impacting their society or living a meaningful life. You know, the interest in crime is alarming. I'm saying serious interest in crime is alarming. The other day I was in a program and they were talking about how criminals recruit young people. And it felt like I was not listening to what they were saying because it was crazy how they now use certain kind of languages on social media, especially TikTok, and then they ask people to bring their account numbers. So you see a terrorist telling you that you could bring your account number and they would, you know, send you some money and all of that. And I felt, yeah, that's not Nigeria. But alas, I was wrong. It's Nigeria. So people are now more interested in that, and we are seeing a very, very huge rise in all of that. So technology, there's now a nexus between technology and crime in a very huge way. And we are going to be looking at issues from this perspective. I will start off from Mr. Chief Jacob Ajakaye. You are a media professional, sir. You've been in this industry for decades now. 30 years, 3 decades. What's your candid assessment on crime and poverty? Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the privilege, the convener. Well, I think the issue of crime as related to its driven crime in the society is a global phenomenon. Crime has become a global industry. And there's a gradual integration of crime from one crime to another. And societies where you have a huge population, like ours, of young people with less job opportunities, the tendency is there for crimes, international crime actors. It could be these insurgency groups which are terrorists you have around. When we are talking brand, either they are bandits or whatever, the full-fledged driven by ideological thing, they are on one side. There are economic criminals on the global stage, actors, who are also recruiting on a recruitment mission globally. So, and again, you see, if we talk of the media, as regards the media is also a global thing with local operations, but reporting crimes that are global in nature or that dimensions in nature, and then looking at the media, maybe you are looking at the reportage from local perspective, but you have to be able to conceptualize what you are reporting from global perspective. It's one of the easiest for making money now. And because of our population of young people and less job opportunity, Nigerians are being recruited on a global scale. You can see of recent, there are so many criminals that were arrested by EFCC. This time they are not the usual insurgency criminals, but economic criminals and criminals that other nations want to use to infiltrate your society, to perpetrate their influence. Several, with due respect, people from China, from Indonesia, from all parts of the Southeast Asia were arrested or recent. Some of them were sentenced, have been sentenced, and the court decided that they should be repatriated back to their country, where after 1 year of serving their jail time, they'll be repatriated. And we're also seeing a global dimension in which young people do no longer want to work. The culture of hard work, which Dr. Olumide talked about, the young people no longer want to work. And nobody's encouraging them to embrace the culture of hard work. To hard work, I think Dr. Nasidi could say it. I think there's a project that brought us together, and it was hard work, isn't it? So you have to work, but no one enforces this culture of work. It's becoming a global thing. Laziness is becoming a global thing now, that people don't want to work. From home front, nobody's encouraging you to see hard work as a way to success. It's something that molds environment like the places of worship, like other places where your values is being molded, is maybe where you worship, maybe church. So preaching that work is the way to success, no longer there. I think the same mocks. And again, in the school, nobody's longer. There are easy way to pass exams. So all these things are what is driving crime in the society. So the reporting needs, I think we need a section to discuss that, because there are different reasons and how to approach its reportage. Either you are looking from global perspective or from the local perspective like ours. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Chief Jacob Ajakai. Dr. Olumide, I'm going to ask you a question, maybe two questions in one. And the first is this. When you were presenting, you sounded very much like, I don't know how many of you can remember Jerry Malo. If you were in 2021 conference, how many of you remember Jerry Malo? How many Jerry Malo before? So we brought Jerry Malo for 2021 conference. Jerry Malo is one of those not very normal guys. You know, Dr. Olumide said he went to study and then he will hit a soft life, then come back. Jerry Malo went to study and came back. I don't know what we would like to come back. So this coming back and seeking to impact rather than gain and get and all of that, what is the nexus between that and reducing criminality and producing a society that we all will be proud to belong to?
That's a hard one. I think there are multiple nexus points when I think about it. One nexus point, and just getting back to the cultural conversation. Previously, I would say maybe in the old like that, one of the things you read is that we had a defining culture. We were driven by culture. We had, we were trained either by our parents, schools, or in, our religions. That was how we were impacted, we were brought up. And in those teachings, what was created was a culture of process, right? Now we have switched to a culture of outcomes. You know, if you have 5 million naira, it's the outcome that you derive pleasure in. If you're working, some of us have jobs. One of the things that we'll see with people who have jobs now is that the only time they are happy with their job is the day they pay salary, right? Every other time.
Is there someone who thinks differently?
Every other time is a struggle. And what has happened has been that we have moved from a culture of process that has been instilled over time, you know, the value of hard work, the value of friendship, you know, the value of, you know, mixing a culture and religion, the value of worship, to just hi. Okay. We're moved past that to just outcomes, right? And so one of the things that, you know, especially for people like me who think like me, are people who have over time started to derive, you know, our pleasure, our gain, you know, our sense of fulfillment from the process rather than the outcome, right? So the salary that you're paying me no longer matters. Am I doing good work? Am I having impact, right? Salary is important. One of the things, there's a point.
Sound, please, can we have a mic that can serve us well, please?
The point you work, even in Nigeria, that nobody will even bother offering you naira. They'll offer you dollars, straight up, right? But it is still not about it. That is just an outcome. It's just something. You need to go back to the process. So many times, right, where you see people traveling out or people who have gone and improved on themselves coming back to say, hey, we want to come back and do the hard work, are people who have over time embraced the culture of the process rather than the culture of the outcome. And so this is one part where you see that there's a mix, because, I mean, typically you could say, some people would say Paris is their dreamland, but if you over time instill that kind of culture in yourself, you will start to feel uneasy when all you see is outcome, there's no process, because you have over time learned to get your value from the growth that comes with the pain of the process. And when you're not growing, then you know that there is a problem. And all of that is social media. I don't want to always say social media, but there is a slight link. We're all now dopamine chasers, because with every click, with everything, your brain gets a reward. So we're all reward oriented. We need to break that cycle. And it is when you break that cycle, going back, that you find that nexus between process. I'm not going to lie to you that, oh, people are just coming back to improve Nigeria for the sake of it. No. I always say something. Where values align is where progress goes. What I need to achieve has to be aligned with what Nigeria needs to achieve. That is only when I come back. We're all selfish in our own way if we do think about it. But I'm selfish because I derive value and gain from following through the process as opposed to the outcome. And Nigeria needs that process to improve. That is where it comes together.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dumide. And I think that not only is process in its reward, there is also that reward we are seeking initially at the end of the process. You know, you can go through the process and enjoy what the process gives you immediately. But there is that looking for now. There is also process if you go through it. Thank you so much for your wonderful contribution. Dr. Nasidi, you are leading a special campaign I'm interested in. You know, my friend here, by the way, help me put your hands together for Madam Nasiru. Madam Nasiru is an academician, is with the Kano State Polytechnic. And please stand up for recognition, sir. Put your hands together for him. He told me about your organization. Please sit down, sir. Bakinrua Students Association. So let me tell you about Bakinrua Students Association. This community has discovered that politicians have abandoned them. Development, nobody brings in anything to help them. And so they thought to themselves that they are going to help themselves. So everyone who has gone to school in that environment comes back as a teacher in that environment. They gather their students together and teach them in lesson, free lesson. And use multiple graduates in that community. I think that is something to clap for. And he is leading that association. Now he has a PhD. That is a product of that community. One more time, put your hands together for Dr. Nasidi. So now tell us, what impact is that making on the development or growth or not of crime in your community? This stuff you're doing, how does it impact crime or not in your community?
Okay. Good afternoon. I think, first of all, as he said, my name is Isa Nasidi, and from Dala local government, Kano State. I have my BSc and MS Mass Communication and PhD from University of Nigeria in Nsukka. And currently, I am Mass Communication at Bez University, Abuja. And also, I have been, before joining academia, I've been working as media consultant, and I'm still media consultant, working at various capacity with local and international organizations. I work with World Bank project and a lot of other projects here in Nigeria. So coming back to our topic of discussion, I think one of the best things that I always say is that I have many things that I always appreciate. One of them is, as a religious man, I always appreciate being a Muslim, one. And the second is that God gave me an opportunity to serve my community. And a little background about my community is, most of our community members are traders. And if you go to Sabongari, Kwari, Kurmi market, we have billionaires, okay? We have money. So money is not our problem. Joblessness is not our problem. But of course, the issue about, especially Western education, that's one of our problems. And a lot of our leaders, they have been trying to do something about the problem, but they failed to do it because a lot of things, especially if you are conducting any project, so you have to come down to the level of people that you are going to do that work with them. Otherwise, that's the first step of losing the project at the beginning. So what we did was that when we started, that was, I think I was the only person who was in university then. Most of my FCA and here School of Remedial Studies. And we have elders who have like PhD, masters, but they couldn't do that. They gather a lot of, they organized a lot of extra lessons, but it failed because they did it in a wrong manner. So what we did is we invited our friends, our younger ones, we invited them, they started coming, and what we did is we gave the services free of charge, number one. Nobody is paying anything. And if they come, we appreciate. If they don't come, we organize ourselves and teach ourselves. That was how we started. That is at least thing for now. So as I'm telling you, I have some of my products here. Please, can you raise up there, Barista? Yeah.
Please
so
stand
I
up,
have
stand up, stand up, let's
baristas,
see you.
I have doctors who are friends from my community.
Please stand up. If you're from Bakirua Students Association, you.
Okay. So baristas, doctors, they're all from my community, and this is what we did at Basu. So my community, Bakirua, now we don't have any problem of honestly, because we have reduced it to some certain level that whatever you are doing, if you think that you're going for business, we have a lot of people who take care of that. And if you want to go to university, you don't have any problem. We have a lot of program, for instance. We train over 1,000 JAM students. At least every year we organize free, we provide them. And we don't have them. But what we do is we always use the little we have. For instance, when we wanted to establish a community library, what we did is, please, let's go for books. If you have one to donate, bring it. If you are, so that's how we started. Then think of starting to big. We start with saying big. That's what we do. Interested in doing that, please kindly go back to our community. And one thing is, you get like it's an institution that will train you. For instance, I learned how to write a proposal from that organization. That is, I learned how to create projects from that very organization, and asked me to develop a proposal. You know, in a matter of minutes, I would develop every aspect of any proposal. I would do it, and that was how I started it from that community work. And God so kind, I am also written from it. For instance, also part of it is we had like this literary forum where we organize people, we come, we write short stories, we present films, we do everything. That was how we learn English. And you know that, especially in Kano, you may go to university and you see that because of the very rare opportunity to speak the language, we find it difficult to speak the language. So that was how we started it. In my community, we do this thing. And public speaking, I heard somebody is talking about public speaking. That was how we learned how to talk. Malam Kabiru is here. He's the one that we used to organize. He used to come and teach us a lot of teaching methodology and everything. So in an initial place, if you want to, like my brother here went to UK, but he's now in Nigeria. Some are doing Japan. He is Japan from UK back to Nigeria to make impact. So what you are making is not something that will just go like this. At the long run, it will come back to you, and it may not be an immediate effect or immediate result, but definitely it will be beneficial to you. Last but not the least, I heard that the MC was talking about, and also my colleague here, talking about studying English or any other irrelevant in comma. That's not my belief. Let me give you an example. When I came, I found a doctor was talking about AI. I studied mass communication. Right now, I am initiating, or almost, the project is almost done about AI, okay? I'm not a computer student. I'm not, but as right now, like I said, I'm initiating about AI. And if I will talk about AI now, I will talk as an expert, okay? It's not my area, but degree certificate is just try to get confidence that you can do, okay? When I went to my national service at Gombe State University, I was the one that managed the IT unit of that. So then they brought some students who studied computer engineering and computer science. So I said, since experts come, let me hand over the unit to them. The surprising thing was that I am more expert in that area than they do, because they did computer science and they studied computer engineering, but they don't have the practical aspect of it. And I have the practical aspect of it, and I learned it myself. So what I'm saying, please, I can see my colleagues here, please. There's no any irrelevant medicine. It is you. The value is in you. Just raise up and you see it. Thank you.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. It's a matter of balance. I'm sure Mr. Deji didn't mean it in that way. It's just a matter of balance. Thank you so much for throwing light on that. Malam Suleiman Ahmed, can we adjust this, please? You serve a politician. You work in the political space and all. I'm trying to find out, sir. There's what we know currently. We don't want to call it what it is, but it's close to recklessness. Permit me the use of the word, of politicians. We want to be able to say the way it is. How is that contributing to how our youth are turning out today? Because if EFCC can go after Yahoo boys and they despise or they leave a politician who has stolen billions, I don't think that's fair. So as somebody who works in the political space, how can you say that, what kind of adjustment do you think needs to be made in this area?
That is a very incisive and thought-provoking question or statement. But before I proceed, let me express, delight for the organizers of this very, very important event. Most so, I'm sitting here on two capacities. My immediate boss, Senator Shehu Sani, who's supposed to be the guest speaker here, is absent today. As a result of losing his uncle just last night. We were together with him here in Kano. He left the uncle in Kaduna. We're supposed to take flight yesterday evening from Abuja. So he told me in the afternoon that he's coming down to Kaduna, then from Kaduna to come by road. So he came in before me. While I landed around 9 o'clock, I spoke with him. He told me that he's around the government house, that he's joining us at the event today. We spoke around 11 o'clock, not knowing that before 5 o'clock, he lost his uncle. So I couldn't get him in the morning until at later time while I was in the hall, I made to understand that he has moved back to Kaduna for the burial. So that is what actually happened. So he is tendering his own apology. He thought that the organizers will have a kind of PowerPoint presentation so that he can be able to apologize by himself, but I'm tendering his own apology. So coming to the question, you see, one thing that people fail to understand, politics is the most important component of the society. There was a time I was in an event in Oyo. I was asking, in Edo, the Academic Staff Union of Universities. I was challenging them, saying that if you did not allow good people to join politics, then you allow the rotten one to join politics and determine the life of the good ones. That is what is clearly happening. When you say politics is a dirty game, then you allow the dirty people to join the politics and determine your life. Critically look at it. If a politician that just maybe finishes secondary school and become a senator, he can sign a law that will diminish our own universities as well, because he does not know the importance of such kind of laws. So this is a very important area that sometimes there are things that we abuse and they are very, very critical and important in the society. Some of us, like Senator Shehu Sani, myself, and even the governor of Kaduna State, we were not politicians at the initial stage. We were just accidental politicians because our history was struggled. We struggled during the military, during our school days. We campaigned against the military to chase the military out of power. Some of us ended in prison. Like you know the history of Senator Shehu Sani, who was to serve life imprisonment until when it was reviewed to be 25 years. When he was in prison between 1995 to 98, some of us experienced a lot of various detention and arrest, stay in different prison and SSS cells. That was our history. Until when this democracy come to place, then some of us decided to join the politics. When we joined the politics, look at the kind of persecution the senator had. He was chased out of the Senate just for him to be fighting his own party and some of the government policies. He was denied his second chance for him to become a senator. So, after saying that, some of the presentation.
Babaiza is one of the best people in my life. He treated me like a son, nothing like issue of tribalism or anything. So had it been I stay here, I would be thinking that Igbo people are bad or something like this, using this kind of my thinking. Okay? So please, Nigeria is good. It's only don't allow other people to be threatening your future by ushering a lot of peace. Please, be strong and you will get it. ADC or APC. That's two options, or the evil options we have now. But the only thing that I appreciate about APC, ADC is before this coalition, there was this like dashed hope that APC will win the election hands on. Okay, there wasn't strong opposition. For now, the only good thing about ADC is we have strong opposition. And anyone who knows what politics is, because I wrote a 330-something book on political communication. So I know what politics is. So what I'm saying is, the only good side of ADC is we have strong opposition and it's good for our democracy. But just open your eyes, anywhere you see opportunity, try to partake in. And of course, we may not try to be much partisan at our own age now, but learn from the process. And you don't know the time that will come to you. But if you keep saying that politics is dirty, like my elder brother is saying, you will not learn from the process. So I always, even trying to be political analyst, because my Facebook page, I do a lot of this analysis because I'm learning from it. And one day we hear Dr. Nasiri, governor of Kano State.
Yes. We are looking forward to it. At that time, you will not forget PEL conference. Thank you, Dr. Nasiri. Maybe Dr. Lumide will develop an AI model or whatever that can predict the next election for us. Yeah, by the way, you need to know, Dr. Lumide, a lot has not been said about him. This young man consults for organizations you can hardly think about. Even your INEC. I want me to say that one, so they see. It's okay. He consults for INEC. I just wanted to say that. Thank you. He did. I don't know whether he will do again. Maybe he has switched camp. All right. Malam Shea Suleiman, please add your voice to this as we wrap up in 1 minute. The young people here, where should we swing?
Okay. I think when you receive the invitation, there is a word called reignite. Yes. So at young people, please try as much as possible to bring back the glory of this country. Reignite your life so that Nigeria will be a better place like it used to be. Please, we don't want a situation whereby you take your international passport, go to another country, they start to look at you as a criminal because you are carrying Nigerian passport. Please bring back the glory whereby you can take Naira and spend it in the UK and France as a valued money better than any currency. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please put your hands together. Keep putting your hands together as panelists go back to their seats. Thank you, Chief Jacob Adiola Jakaye. Thank you, Dr. Lumide Okubadejo. Dr. Nasiri Isa. Thank you, Malam Suleiman Ahmad. Thank you. Thank you. We are honored to have you.